Ever wondered what it's like to rise to the top of Hollywood only to crash back down? The truth behind Hollywood's brightest stars isn't all glitz and glamour. Hollywood, the land of dreams, where stars are made and broken in the blink of an eye. But for many, success in Tinseltown comes with its own set of challenges. In this video, we'll dive deep into the highs and lows of career success in Hollywood, uncovering the untold stories of those who reach the pinnacle of fame, only to find themselves facing dramatic declines. From Oscar-winning performances to sudden disappearances from the spotlight, we'll reveal what happened behind the scenes. Stick around, because some of these stories will shock you. Now let's explore the unpredictable ride of Hollywood's shining stars. The glimmering heights, early fame and fortune. The road to Hollywood stardom during the Golden Age was filled with excitement, but it wasn't always easy. For many actors and actresses, success came only after years of hard work, perseverance, and of course the right mix of talent and luck. When fame finally arrived, it could feel almost magical. Hollywood was a world of dazzling lights, flashy premieres, elegant parties, and adoring fans. For many, stepping into this world felt like a dream come true. Take Marilyn Monroe, for example. Her journey to fame was quick and unforgettable. Monroe was not just beautiful, she had an undeniable charm and raw talent that caught the eyes of Hollywood's biggest moguls. Her career took off after she starred in Some Like It Hot, 1959, and from that moment on, she became one of the most recognized faces in the world. Her image, blonde hair, red lips, and that unforgettable smile, became synonymous with Hollywood glamour. Monroe's talent was undeniable, but her beauty often overshadowed her acting skills, turning her into a cultural icon. People couldn't get enough of her, and she became the ultimate symbol of the 1950s and 1960s Hollywood. Then there's Audrey Hepburn, whose rise to stardom was equally magical but very different. Hepburn wasn't just a pretty face, she had grace, charm, and a sense of vulnerability that made her unique. She became an icon with her roles in films like Roman Holiday, 1953, and Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961. Hepburn's style, her delicate beauty, and her warm yet strong presence on screen captured the hearts of audiences everywhere. She wasn't just an actress, she was a role model, an epitome of elegance. Her fame wasn't built on just the glamour of Hollywood, but on her ability to connect with audiences on a deeper, more personal level. While actresses like Monroe and Hepburn became global stars, it wasn't just women who reached incredible heights in Hollywood. Male actors like James Dean and Marlon Brando pushed the boundaries of acting in a way that had never been seen before. James Dean became the face of youthful rebellion, a troubled soul searching for meaning. His performances in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, and East of Eden, 1955, weren't just performances. They were a reflection of a generation's struggles and frustrations. His tragic death at the young age of 24 only added to his legendary status. Similarly, Marlon Brando revolutionized male acting with his raw, emotional performances. In A Streetcar Named Desire, 1951, Brando brought an intensity and depth to his character that shocked audiences and critics alike. He broke away from the stiff, controlled performances that were common in Hollywood at the time, showing that men in films could be just as emotionally complex as their female counterparts. Brando's performances set a new standard for Hollywood actors, making him one of the most respected and powerful figures in the industry. With this new fame came financial success. Major studio contracts meant actors and actresses often signed up for multiple films, ensuring their continued rise to fame. They weren't just stars in movies. They were stars in real life. They were household names, admired by fans all over the world and envied by their peers. For many, Hollywood wasn't just about fame, it was about securing a legacy, ensuring that their names would be remembered for years to come. The dream of Hollywood success was the ultimate goal, and many aspiring actors would do anything to reach those famous gates. The dark side, struggles behind the spotlight. While the bright lights of Hollywood's golden age showcased the glamour and beauty of its biggest stars, the truth behind the scenes was often far from perfect. The pressure to maintain a flawless public image, deal with demanding studio contracts, and bear the weight of fame took a heavy toll on many stars. Beneath the glitz and glam, many struggled in silence. battling personal demons that would eventually overshadow their careers. Judy Garland is a prime example of a star whose fame came with a cost. Known for her iconic role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, Garland's talent was undeniable. Yet, behind the scenes, her life was filled with personal turmoil. Despite her immense success, she faced constant battles with addiction and mental health issues. The pressure to maintain an image of youth and beauty led Garland down a dark path of substance abuse. Studio executives, notorious for their harsh treatment of young stars, contributed to her emotional and physical distress. The demand to stay thin and perfect to meet the studio's expectations pushed Garland to take dangerous pills to control her weight. These struggles overshadowed her talent, and instead of enjoying a long, successful career, Garland's life was marred by a series of personal and professional challenges. Her story serves as a haunting reminder that even the most gifted stars can suffer in the pursuit of perfection. Similarly, Elizabeth Taylor, one of Hollywood's most famous actresses, lived a life filled with public drama and personal heartache. Taylor's stunning beauty was matched only by her string of marriages and her highly publicized relationships. Her love affair with actor Richard Burton became legendary, but it was also incredibly tumultuous. Their on-again, off-again romance, filled with passion and conflict, often overshadowed her career achievements. While she was one of the most respected actresses of her time, starring in films like Cleopatra, 1963, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, 1966, Taylor's personal life was a constant source of public scrutiny. Her many marriages, health problems, and ongoing battles with addiction became a part of her identity, sometimes overshadowing her talents as an actress. Taylor's story was one of immense highs in her career, but also deep personal lows that played out in front of the world. Even Humphrey Bogart, known for his tough guy image and unforgettable roles in Casablanca, 1942, and The Maltese Falcon, 1941, had his struggles. Bogart became a symbol of masculinity and rugged charm in Hollywood, but behind the scenes, his life was marked by personal challenges that he kept hidden from the public. He dealt with health issues throughout his career, including chronic pain, and was known to struggle with alcoholism. These issues made his path to fame more difficult, even as he became one of the most beloved stars in Hollywood history. His public persona as a hard-boiled detective often hid the fact that he too was fighting personal battles that no one could see. His story is a reminder that even the most iconic stars have their struggles, showing that fame and success often come with their burdens. Behind the glamorous facades, the stars of Hollywood's golden age were often battling personal demons that would leave lasting marks on their lives and careers. For many, the price of fame was steep, and the pressures of living up to public expectations sometimes proved to be more than they could bear. The price of success, the studio system, and personal sacrifices. One of the most defining aspects of Hollywood's golden age was the powerful studio system. During this time, major studios like MGM, Warner Brothers, and Paramount controlled nearly every part of an actor's career. From handpicking the roles they would play to managing their public appearances, actors and actresses were often bound by long-term contracts that left them with little autonomy over their careers. This system, while highly effective in producing star-driven films, came at a significant personal cost to the performers who were trapped within it. The studio system was built on the idea of mass production. Studios knew that to maintain their power, they needed recognizable stars who could draw in audiences. For the most part, this meant signing actors and actresses to multi-year contracts and controlling virtually every aspect of their professional lives. Studios would decide the films an actor would appear in, often without their input, and in some cases, even dictate their public image. This control worked wonders for the studios, ensuring a steady stream of hit films. But for the actors, the price of success often meant sacrificing control over their careers. Take Bette Davis, for instance. Widely regarded as one of Hollywood's greatest actresses, Davis was famous for her independent spirit. However, her battle with Warner Brothers over her contract became legendary. She famously sued the studio to gain more freedom and control over the roles she played. Davis was not one to shy away from a fight, and her determination to choose her roles often put her at odds with the studio system. Her fierce independence made her an icon, but it also showcased the limited power that even the most talented stars had during this time. Her struggles highlight how the studio system stifled creativity and forced actors to conform to the industry's demands, no matter their stature or talent. For many women, the pressures of fame went beyond simply being handed roles. Stars like Gloria Swanson and Greta Garbo faced a much more complex relationship with their public image. Swanson, known for her remarkable beauty and talent, had risen to the top of Hollywood during the silent film era. But as talkies took over and the studio system tightened its grip, Swanson became disillusioned. At the height of her fame, she chose to walk away from Hollywood, seeking more control over her life and career. Swanson's decision to step away from the spotlight was a bold one, but it was a reflection of the larger struggle that many stars faced. While the public adored them, they felt increasingly trapped by the very system that made them famous. Similarly, Greta Garbo, another Hollywood legend, became known not only for her captivating beauty and roles in films like Grand Hotel, 1932, but also for her reclusive nature. Garbo was fiercely protective of her privacy, and her desire to escape the pressures of fame led her to step out of the public eye completely. At the height of her success, Garbo chose to retire from acting, leaving behind a legacy of mystery and allure. Her decision to leave Hollywood has long been a topic of speculation, with some wondering if the weight of the studio system's expectations contributed to her choice to disappear from the public eye. The sacrifices made by these stars reveal the darker side of fame in classic Hollywood. While they achieved great success and earned adoration from fans, they often did so at the expense of their happiness. The studio system created a world where talent was commodified, and stars were expected to conform to a particular image or persona. The price of success in Hollywood was not just the demands of work, but the personal toll it took on the stars who had to navigate these restrictions. In the end, the studio system provided the framework for Hollywood's rise, but it also led many stars to make difficult decisions to reclaim control over their lives. Some, like Swanson and Garbo, chose to walk away, while others, like Davis, fought back against the system's constraints. For all of them, the price of success was steep, and their sacrifices are a reminder of the hidden cost of fame in Hollywood's golden age. Career declines, the fall from grace. Unfortunately, the fairy tale stories of Hollywood stardom were often short-lived. For many stars, the decline in their careers was swift and dramatic. As the 1950s rolled around, the traditional studio system began to break down, and with it, many of the careers built during Hollywood's golden age. Rita Hayworth was once one of the most beloved stars of the 1940s. However, as time went on, her popularity waned, and her struggles began to overshadow her acting career. Her later years were marked by a battle with Alzheimer's disease, which, coupled with her fading star power, left her largely forgotten by the public. She went from being one of the most photographed women in the world to an almost tragic figure, her legacy overshadowed by the personal challenges she faced. Similarly, Carole Lombard, who had once been at the pinnacle of success, saw her career abruptly cut short by a tragic plane crash in 1942. Lombard's comedic genius had made her one of the most bankable actresses of the 1930s, but her untimely death at the age of 33 marked the end of a promising career. For some, the decline was less tragic, but just as devastating. Norma Shearer, once one of the highest-paid actresses in Hollywood, faded into obscurity after her prime in the 1930s. Despite winning an Academy Award for The Divorcee, 1930, Shearer struggled to maintain her relevance in the changing landscape of Hollywood as new stars like Joan Crawford and Bette Davis emerged. In many cases, actors and actresses who had once been beloved and celebrated found themselves discarded by the very system that had once propelled them to stardom. The rise of method acting, television, and a shift in public taste led to the eventual fall of many stars who couldn't adapt to the changing industry. The end of an era, Hollywood's changing landscape. The 1960s saw the end of the golden age of Hollywood as new waves of filmmakers, including those from Europe and the emerging generation of American directors like Francis Ford Coppola and Martin Scorsese, challenged the old guard. Hollywood was no longer the studio-driven, glamorous machine it once had been. Stars who had been icons of the golden age such as Gary Cooper and Cary Grant, gradually disappeared from the spotlight, replaced by new faces and a new style of filmmaking. The shifting culture of the 1960s, with its embrace of counterculture, new cinematic techniques, and changing attitudes towards celebrity, spelled the end for many of Hollywood's greatest stars. The rise of television further contributed to this shift, as it offered new opportunities and a platform for actors who might otherwise have been overshadowed by the big screen. Hollywood's golden age was full of dazzling stars who reached unimaginable heights of fame, but behind the glitz and glamour, the price of success was often high. From struggling with the studio system to facing personal sacrifices, these stars were forced to navigate a world that demanded much more than just talent. So, what do you think? Did the price of fame outweigh the rewards for these Hollywood icons? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed uncovering the highs and lows of Hollywood's biggest stars, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more behind-the-scenes stories that reveal the untold truths of old Hollywood.